The universe is a huge place with many things in it, and people are always curious about how everything works. So they come up with ways to learn about different things. But what if everything is connected? What if there's a way to understand everything? Let's try to explain this step by step. First, think about what you're doing right now. You're watching this video on a computer or phone. This means you're using technology. Technology is something people make to solve problems. Your computer, for example, uses code to store and organize information. It's like the brain of the computer, helping it think and do tasks for you. People have always used technology to solve problems. Is there a river in the way? Build a bridge. Too hot outside? Make a fan. Technology keeps improving because inventions build on top of each other over time. But who makes all this technology? People, of course. Since technology is something people create, studying it means studying humans too. One way to study people is by learning about history. History helps us understand how things in the past connect to the present. It's like telling stories about how one event leads to another. Speaking of stories, have you ever read a good book? That's where literature comes in. It's the art of telling stories that people find interesting. But to write stories, we need language. People use different sounds to talk, and when a group of people uses the same sounds, it becomes a language. Different places have different languages, which leads to different cultures all over the world. Culture is like the way people do things, what they wear, what they eat, how they dance, and even how they express their feelings through art. Now let's switch from people to living things. Biology is the study of life. Living things must grow, have energy, and reproduce. DNA is like a secret code that helps living things reproduce. But what is DNA made of? To answer that, we need to look at chemistry. Chemistry is the study of what things are made of. Everything is made up of tiny building blocks called atoms. Atoms combine to form everything you see, like water or even the air we breathe. Atoms can stick together or break apart in chemical reactions. But why do different atoms stick together? That's where physics comes in. Physics is all about how things move and interact with each other. For example, gravity pulls us down to the earth, and the earth moves around the sun because of gravity. The sun is just one of many stars, and all these stars group together in something called galaxies. The entire universe is made up of things moving and bumping into each other, which is what physics helps explain. But how do we know how fast something is moving or how heavy something is? We need math to figure it out. Math helps us count, add, and measure things. You can't touch numbers, but you can use them to understand the world. For example, algebra helps you solve problems with unknowns, and geometry is about shapes like circles and triangles. There's even a special number called pi, which helps us measure circles. Now here's where things get interesting. Some people think that everything in math is already out there waiting to be discovered. If math is infinite, where does all this information come from? It has to come from something bigger than us. Some people believe that this infinite source of knowledge is God. They think math and everything else comes from God's mind, because only something infinite could hold all that information. That's why in the past, many people thought that by studying math and science, they were also learning more about God. They believed that studying the universe is like studying God's creation. Whether it's math, physics, biology, or any other subject, everything connects back to God. In the end, all these different fields of study, technology, biology, chemistry, physics, math, are like pieces of a big puzzle. And that puzzle might just lead us to something much bigger.